what's up, guys? It's Clint. We're back for another episode of Versus. Thank you for tuning in to Clint Likes Everything, where we do movie battles every Friday night. Versus is a fun show with me and my good friend Curtis, where we talk about two great movies that should be adversaries. If they're not, the two tonight are Home Alone and Die Hard. What is the significance of Home Alone and Die Hard? Well, they're both Christmas movies, and that's arguable because a lot of people think Die Hard's not a Christmas movie, but I'm going to prove them wrong tonight. And also, they're the same movie. It's the lone guy fighting the bad guys by himself. Yeah, it's the same movie. I never thought of that. Well, so we're going to talk about it. Again, it's Die Hard versus Home Alone. And before we get started, guys, I need you guys to subscribe. Let's get my good friend Curtis in here. Booyah! Curtis, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. You're looking rather dapper tonight.
Dapper,
Clint.
yes. I did. I met some friends for dinner tonight, and so yeah. So
All right.
we did a secret. I did a secret wedding, like Braveheart when they meet in the forest in the middle of the night. You know? Yeah.
That
And we
is
even had a bagpipe
romantic
player.
as hell.
Do 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 do.
That's awesome.
All right. Man, what did you think about this team up tonight, or this matchup, I should say?
I thought this was like this one. I thought was going to be tougher. I won't say where I'm going with that yet, but I mean, both very good movies, and I didn't realize how much of the same fucking movie they are. Like we talked about it before. I watched them back to back. And it's like it is basically like they were like, you know what, that movie Die Hard was good. Everybody liked that one. Let's do that, but with let's make a kids version of that. And like that's what they did. They just made kids Die Hard. Like.
Yes, I was waiting for him to say yippee-ki-yay, but he said, but that's in the best line category. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But again, guys, Home Alone versus Die Hard. Yeah, and points. You know how points work. Everybody gets 1 point, and then we will build from there. And before we do that, we're going to go to the chat real quick, say hello to everybody, and then we're going to get into game time. So, chat, how are you guys doing today?
EJ was in there earlier.
Uh-huh.
There's that James guy. He's in there. He's wrapping some presents while he's checking us out. And like Bobby put the poll in there, and Bobby says she picks Jingle All the Way. And I agree. That's a great movie. It's funny. It was on the top of one of these lists that I saw, and it was the title of the list was 10 movies that everyone should hate, but everybody but everyone loves. And Jingle All the Way was like on the top of the list. And I agree. I love that movie.
The Ref was. I liked The Ref.
Is that a Christmas movie? I haven't seen that in forever. No, I think he's saying for a Christmas movie.
Ah, gotcha.
That's right.
One of my faves is Love Actually. I love that movie. If I had to pick, I love that movie. Every time I see it, I have to watch the whole thing. Anytime. It's one of the ones I'm like, doing laundry or something, and I'm like, oh, that's on, and I end up watching the whole movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, and I got to check that one out. Maybe I will this Christmas, and I will report back to you.
Do it.
And it is EJ's birthday.
EJ, what's up? Dude, let's get some applause for EJ's birthday. Yes, sir.
Turning 23 today. I feel your pain, man. I'm born on Christmas, so being one of these Christmas babies around Christmas is
Curtis, I didn't know your birthday was on Christmas.
Yeah.
Talk about stealing your thunder, man. I thought that, like, I have a friend whose birthday is on Halloween, and he's like, yeah, dude, every birthday is a Halloween party for me, and like Christmas, like my birthday's in March, and so that's like 3 months so that like I could get Castle Grayskull for Christmas, and then I could get Snake Mountain for my birthday, and it's only 3 months, but it's far apart that they don't say, dude, you just got Castle Grayskull. Yeah. But when your birthday is on Christmas, do you get an extra large birthday Christmas gift, or do they just tell you it's extra large?
Well, no, I mean, it depends. Some people will give me the birthday and the Christmas stuff. And my mom always tried to make it special. She always. It just never really worked out that way. But there's always the people who are like, "Merry Christmas and Happy Birthday," like on the same gift, and it's like, yeah, "Fuck you too, buddy." Like,
Here's $20, and we
yeah.
put an extra 5 in there for your birthday.
So, and then yeah, Christmas parties or birthday parties. I don't know if I've ever had one on Christmas, but we used to do a New Year's party. And then now that we've gotten older, we're like, we don't want people driving around like on New Year's. Like we used to be like, yeah, New Year's party, it's my birthday. And now it's like, we don't want people driving on New Year's. Like, it's crazy out there.
You could have a triple party, because you could have birthday, then Christmas, then New Year's. That's a fun week, man. You just have one like 2 days later. Yeah, it's good times.
Boom, bada bing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, all right,
Phil's getting married on Christmas. Yes, sir.
See, that's smart, because you can't forget your anniversary then.
Wise man. And you could say, and you could just get one present for both. It's perfect.
No, Bobby. I'm sorry, Bobby. She said hers is the second week of January, and she still gets presents for both.
Oh no.
You need to go punch those people in the face. Like,
Yeah.
that's too far.
Mel says hi, and then Curtis, my dad's birthday. Oop, where'd he go? Curtis, my dad's birthday is December 30th, and we did a surprise birthday for him in July one year. That's super cool, man.
That's cool.
Very
like,
cool.
I wouldn't have
Very cool.
expected
And
that
hello,
at all.
James. I'm saying hi to you publicly. Hello, James, my good friend from Small Screen. Yes, we did a late night surprise live stream last night. That was a lot of fun, and we'll be doing. There's a new small. In fact, in the chat, James, post a link to the Small Screen Live. They've been putting out edited videos for years, and they're gonna do a live channel so that the algorithm doesn't get confused, where like, hey, we have these 2-hour videos, then we have these 3-minute videos. Sometimes it confuses the algorithm, so they're going to separate the two. They're going to do live streams, and I'm going to be involved with that on Tuesdays, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And then on Fridays, I'm still going to be having shenanigans over here on my channel. So be sure to subscribe to that if you're not already, and you can catch me and James and the whole small screen gang on Tuesdays. And had fun last night, and I think that's awesome. You did that for your dad's birthday in the middle of the year. That's a surprise party.
Yeah, I was out last night, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. That's like, hey, I'm pregnant. What? Just kidding. Happy birthday. What? Yeah, that's a surprise party too.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, shoot, man. Well, we said hello to everybody in the chat.
We did.
We've introduced the two movies. Let's get into the game, man. It's game time. Again, you know the rules. Here's the point screen. Both teams have 1 point, and it's time to party now. So, we'll start first with who had the best story? Which movie had the best story? All right. Which do you think? Would you say?
So in my opinion, now Die Hard was based off of a book. We know that. In the
Before
they did a lot of.
which one are you going to argue is the winner, and give your whole topic so I could choose a background?
Oh, I'm gonna say Die Hard.
Die Hard. All right, we'll give you this background. Go ahead.
That's smart. I like that.
Yeah.
Coming in, looking good, and getting us. Oh man.
Yes, sir.
So Die Hard was based off of a book, but they did a lot of rewrites. Obviously, even during the filming, apparently a lot of it was improvised because the rewrites were happening as they were filming. So they did a lot of improvised stuff that was actually kept. But the story itself ends up being great. Everything leads to everything else, like the little things that would normally be throwaway. Like it's so well edited and directed and done. And then like again, Home Alone just kind of like there's a whole subgenre of films that rip off Die Hard. It's like Die Hard on a plane, Die Hard on a boat, Die Hard on a bus. Like that's and Home Alone is in that category. In my opinion, they ripped off Die Hard, and like very obviously and very well, but they did Kids Die Hard, and so I got to give it to Die Hard.
I'm trying to think, because better executed story and better story are two different things, and I've been so busy in the last 24 hours that I haven't had to chance to ponder this. So I'm going to think out loud on this.
Okay.
I love Home Alone. I forgot how much I loved Home Alone. I haven't seen Home Alone since I was a kid. Like, I haven't seen it in years. I love the family vibe, and I love how just the whole thing goes down. I love that they throw in a scary old man and that he ends up being a hero. I love just everything about that movie. I love everything about it. But is it a better story? Die Hard.
So think about this. Think of all the things that had to happen for Home Alone to be practical. Okay? And then think what had to happen for Die Hard to be practical. Like Die Hard, he shows up and terrorists take over the tower. Or robbers, actually, not even terrorists. Robbers take over the tower. For Home Alone, the lights have to go out. Kevin has to be sent to the attic by himself so nobody notices that he's missing. The other kid, the neighbor kid, has to wander in so they get the count wrong. Like, it works for the film, but come on, story wise, like,
yeah, I'm gonna give it to Die Hard just because, like you said, they were around first and practically invented this scenario. So I'm gonna give it to that, and we'll argue about Christmas, whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie. We'll have that discussion a little bit too in a moment, because I've got friends who disagree. So I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say that I also thing I love about Die Hard is that Bruce Willis is very much like an everyday guy. He's not invincible, like a lot of action heroes, and I was watching somebody talking about this movie, and they pointed that out, and I was like, yeah, I never really thought about that back then, and then watching this movie, I was like, yeah, he's just a dude getting injured, and I think that's why everyone related to this movie and just clung on to this movie. Not to mention it was just salt and peppered with the F-bombs throughout the movie. It's just like, dude, that's what would happen if I was in a, maybe not tying a fire hose around your waist and jumping off the roof, but it was like this guy was a guy in a separation from his wife who's barefoot and cutting his feet on glass, and it's like it was very relatable instead of just being like an invincible Rambo or Cobra or Terminator or what insert super action hero. He changed the game for action heroes, I feel like. So
he absolutely did. And so that was so whenever Die Hard was first coming out, like Bruce Willis was not a big name star, and he was mostly known for like romantic comedies and stuff.
Moonlighting.
And yeah, moonlighting and TV stuff. And so they didn't put his face on a lot of the promotional materials at the beginning. Like they thought that would detract from it. And it's funny, like he still like had that to a degree. Like I dealt with that specifically. My dad was a big dude, like, and but he'd always be like, I could kick Bruce Willis's ass. Like, so he didn't want to watch. I don't know if he ever sat down and actually watched Die Hard. And he was like, whatever, I could kick that guy's ass. And it was like, but that's the point of it. Like that he is an everyman hero. And my dad, yeah, totally could have, but that's the point of it, is that he's not Arnold. He's just some, regular NYPD cop dealing with this. And he finds a way to get it done. He finds a way to win, and that's the beauty of it. That's what makes John McClane so endearing. It's
best. Let's get the point for the best story. We're gonna go ahead and do that, and then jump on to the next category.
Jamish, Jamisse.
What?
Mel asked us to say that out loud. I probably did not say it correctly though.
All right. Well, what about
So,
what about cast? Let's go through the cast and see what we can
Yes, good.
dig up, because both of these have a great cast. Who had the best cast? Let's see here. This is a great cast. Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, and I heard this was Alan Rickman's first movie.
yes, it was.
It's what I heard, which is great. What a fantastic actor, and what a great job he did in this film. Bonnie Bedelia, Reginald. I don't know Reginald. William Atherton.
That's Carl Winslow.
Oh,
Reginald
holy
Blake.
crap! I know Carl Winslow.
He doesn't have a mustache, so you're like,
That's
who is
what.
that?
Yeah, I did. You're not lying, dude. That without a mustache, I was like, who the hell is this guy? That's hilarious. Hell yeah, Carl Winslow. William Atherton, he's the reporter.
Reporter.
Yeah. Alexander Godunov. Devereaux White. He's
That's
the
Argyle,
limo
yeah.
driver. Yeah, and then dude, Paul Gleason, he's a big douchebag, the police chief.
He's so great.
Yeah, Harry Ellis, the biggest douchebag. All these guys, like, oh, I gotta stop and for one, where is he? There he is. This guy above, right here, is in every great 80s action
sure.
movie. Yeah, he's in all of them. But where'd he go? No, over there. Oh, that guy up there. Man, I'm having to do some multitasking. This guy right here.
Oh yeah. That is
Vigo the Carpathian, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God!
Where's the air horn
Boom.
button? Vigo, you get bonus points for having Vigo the Carpathian points right there. This is supposed to be a fair fight. It's not a fair fight when you have Vigo. I'm just saying. So okay, so that's one. That's one cast. Bonus points for Vigo. Okay. And then
Hell
we
yeah,
have.
I did, Mel.
What happened?
Mel says Vigo fucking terrified me.
Yeah,
as a kid."
Vigo is
Yeah,
badass.
He's stealing babies and stuff. He was like,
Then we have Macaulay Culkin for Home Alone. Joe Pesci, who's badass and everything.
Big badass,
Daniel
big
Stern is pretty badass. Kieran Culkin. Catherine O'Hara, who's amazing. I love her in Beetlejuice. John Hurd.
Buzz.
Devin. I always feel like if I stop, I don't know this guy, I'm going to skip to the guy I know, that I'm like really doing a disservice to everybody on this page. You know what I mean? It's kind of rude to mention some and not mention others, but I'm sorry. I have my favorites. And after I say Devin Rattray, I'm going to say John Candy is probably more important than Vigo the Carpathian.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
It's freaking John Candy, man, and he's a Candyman. He's one of those people that you throw him in a movie and it just elevates the whole movie. Like everything that guy touched was fantastic. And like just having him be the security guy at Wally World on Vacation, you know, it's just a bit part. And the movies where he's the main character were fantastic. But he's a guy that every movie, he seems like such a nice guy that he just brings joy in every film. So I want to give him kudos for that too. John Candy, you get an air horn for just being John Candy. So I had to say that. And now we'll get back to our regular scheduled programming. The whole family of Home Alone, super well cast. The whole gang, you know. Buzz,
go up a little bit.
Buzz was fantastic cast. Never has there been such an annoying older brother as Buzz since Chet from Weird Science.
Ooh, wow, that's a good point.
Yeah, like that's fantastic casting for an older brother. Like it's perfect. Uh,
Go up a little bit.
where are we going? This way?
Officer Bezlak. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I saw the guy. I saw one guy, and I thought it was somebody else. No, wow, that's a really good point.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I'd. Well, we're not doing Weird Science versus Home Alone, so it doesn't.
You got to do Weird Science versus something. That's great.
Yeah. Also, Roberts Blossom, this guy, the scary old man. He's fantastic. He could just look scary as hell, and then when he just all of a sudden switched and just smiled at Kevin, it's like wow. He's like, Merry Christmas, and he's like, huh? So good. Both movies had fantastic casting. I'm gonna say Home Alone gets, for me, as far as I'm concerned, I think Home Alone should get the point for this because I think they have more in their arsenal. I think you got Alan Rickman and Bruce Willis and Carl Winslow, is the heavy guns on that other movie. But other than that, I think this, for me, and that's just my vote that I'm putting in. But what do you think?
No, you're kind of right. I mean, I want to say Die Hard just because of Alan Rickman's performance alone, and of course Bruce Willis as well. But we're not talking about their performances; we're talking about the cast. And besides Willis, Rickman, and Winslow, the ones that were actually a big part of it, I mean, that's it for heavy hitters.
I mean, really, like you throw an Alan Rickman at me, I'll throw a Joe Pesci at you, and I'm like, okay, now what do you got? You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll throw a John Candy at you. What do you got now? I still got Catherine O'Hara. I still got Macaulay Culkin. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Home Alone's got to win this one.
I think that's my argument. So. All right. Not to even mention this lady in the airport.
Elvis was in Home Alone. Did you see that?
What?
There's a theory that
not to mention
Elvis...
this lady. She's in all kinds of
stuff.
Yeah. Just for being an awesome
Billy Bird.
Actress.
Oh, that's even such a sweet old lady name. Oh, it's Billy Bird.
What were you to say about the rumor that
there's a fan theory that Elvis is in Home Alone. He's standing, and I'm sure you can find the picture real quick if you Google it. But if you look at it, it's kind of amazing. It's like whenever Catherine O'Hara is at the airport arguing with the ticket taker, there's a guy sitting behind her with a beard, and it looks like Elvis with a beard. Like, and they're like, "Look, Elvis is alive," and he was an extra in Home Alone, and it's just some guy standing behind her.
Now I have to look this up. Hold on a sec.
Not at all. While you're doing that, I'll do some numbers.
Yeah, give us some numbers.
All right. So numbers time. Die Hard on IMDb has an 8.2 out of 10. Home Alone has a 7.7 out of 10. The critics' rating on Rotten Tomatoes for Die Hard is a 94. The critics' rating for Home Alone on Rotten Tomatoes is a 66, which is kind of surprising. The audience rating for Die Hard is also a 94. The audience rating for Home Alone is an 80. Here's the heavy hitter, though. So it looks like Die Hard's got the lead. But listen to this. The budget for Die Hard, the budget for Die Hard was $30 million, and it made $140 million. 4.7 times its budget. Now, that's good. That's awesome. The budget for Home Alone was $18 million, and it made $476.7 million, which is 26 and a half times its budget. I mean, it doesn't matter if people like it or not. If you make 26 and a half times your budget back, good God.
Which hold on. Which makes, I think makes for a new category that we're going to have to create, which was a bigger financial success. We'll create that as a question that we'll do.
I don't know if any. And actually, I saw in the trivia, Home Alone is in the Guinness Book of World Records, or was. I don't know if it still is. In the Guinness Book of World Records for highest grossing comedy, or highest grossing box office for a comedy at $477 million.
Wow! So, and dude, that was a huge hit when it came out.
And it cost $18 million to make. That's insane.
Let's look at Elvis real quick so I can delete this photo. What do you think, gang? You think this is Elvis back here?
There's some, I don't know if it's the same picture or not, but like it looks a lot like him whenever you look at some other, like, or look at it again and watch it. It's crazy. But that's one of the fan theories as well.
All right, so best cast. I'm going to give the point to Home Alone.
Only the lonely.
And those were some interesting numbers that you gave me there. Thank you for that, Curtis.
My pleasure. Numbers are your friend.
Numbers are your best friend, actually. Let's. This is where it gets interesting. Best Christmas movie. All right.
Okay.
Now, there are people. Go back to us. There are people that think that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Where do you sit on that?
I am not one of those people at all. But what's interesting is there are people who believe that Home Alone is not a Christmas movie. The argument being that either of these could, like, for example, they say with Home Alone and of course Die Hard, but like it could happen any time of the year. Like they could be going on a 4th of July vacation or something like that, and the same thing could occur. But that's the thing. So there are people that argue that Home Alone is not, but that's not a big argument. Like you don't hear that a lot,
right?
You know. But it's the same argument for Die Hard. They're like, there's nothing like it's just set at Christmas. Now, I completely disagree with that. The Christmas is an integral part of the film, but like you could say that about a lot of movies, and we can go deeper into that. But how do you feel about it?
I'm going to argue I didn't even think I was going to have to argue this, but Home Alone. First of all, the kid goes to see Santa. I mean, in the movie. Second of all, he cuts down his own Christmas tree. Third of all, he goes to church on Christmas Eve and then makes amends with somebody that he's got differences with because he's scared of the stranger. And then fourth, he decorates the living room, with all this stuff and hangs up stockings. I'm just kidding. No, his mom comes home for Christmas morning, and then the whole family comes in, and then the whole thing is a Christmas movie with burglars. So it's not a burglar movie with Christmas sprinkled on it. It's a Christmas movie with burglars is what it is.
I agree, but to play devil's advocate, if it was 4th of July, he could have went and talked to Uncle Sam. He could have. No, I'm just kidding.
Uncle Sam. Yeah, Uncle Sam. Yeah, so there's that. Now, oh, look at there. Coincidentally, also Small Screen will coincidentally have a Die Hard video out tomorrow or Sunday for Christmas. All right. And here we have a comment from Phil. The antagonist has to have a change of heart in the Christmas spirit. Says who?
Hans Gruber may have when he was falling from that building.
Yeah, but who says? Who says? That's like when people are like, James Gunn, if he's going to reboot, he has to reboot the whole thing. Who says he has to reboot you? You say that? Who says? Nobody says. He can reboot half of the universe if he wants to. He can. He's in charge of DC. Who says that the antagonist has to have a change of heart?
And I think the protagonist in most Christmas movies has a change of heart. I don't know if the antagonist does. Like obviously Bruce Willis, like Christmas is about redemption stories and stuff like that. Like we talked about with Bad Santa, this is absolutely a redemption story. And Christmas, the majority of Christmas movies, I was actually listening to NPR, so this is not me. This is some smart movie film critic guy talking that I'm totally ripping off. But he said that the majority of Christmas films revolved around family reunification because at the time that Christmas films started coming out and becoming popular, it was after World War II, and family reunification was a big deal. And so the majority, if you look at the old classics, the majority of them are about families coming back together. Bruce Willis is going to see his family to be reunified with them after Christmas. something gets in the way, and he will let nothing stand in his way from getting back together with his family.
Yeah.
So,
and same with Kevin McAllister's neighbor. He gets him to
Right.
bury the hatchet with his son they had a fight, and he also realizes he thought he hated his family, but he actually loves his family. And then his family realized, hey, we were hard on him. They came back. Everybody unifies at the end, including all of them. And same with Bruce Willis and his wife, who already wanted him to stay over. She had a room for him and everything. Like she was, and he's hoping for the best. He brings a teddy bear home. He's flying home. What are you doing? I'm home for the holidays. Oh, I'm home for Christmas. And so I was doing some research on this,
Mhm.
and I found this trailer. I'm gonna play that. And I said, wow, this is a very Christmassy looking Die Hard trailer. So look at this real quick.
This is John.
Nice beer.
Yeah.
He just wants to spend Christmas with the family.
Is Daddy coming home with you?
We'll see
That's
what
right.
Santa and
So
Mommy
I'm
do.
talking over this so we don't get a copyright situation.
When he gets stuck at the office party, it'll be a holiday.
Look at that. Merry
he'll
Christmas.
never forget.
Yep.
Yeah. That's right.
Yep. This
This
is
Christmas,
It's a time of miracles, so be of good cheer.
Only John can drive somebody.
that's right. Be of good cheer.
ready
The whole thing
to
is
jingle
Christmas,
some
man.
bells and deck the halls.
That's right.
Yeah.
With bows of
Christmas.
Bruce Willis,
That's right. Yeah, come over for Christmas.
Alan Rickman,
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr.
You see,
Cowboy?
I gotta mute now for a minute.
in the greatest Christmas story ever told.
That's right.
Got some bad news for you, Dwayne.
Yep.
Eat it, Harvey.
Yep, I'm muting again for
I'm starting to get a bad feeling up here.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, baby.
Die Hard.
Uh-huh.
Their idea of Christmas, I gotta be there for New Year's.
See that? Christmas. Not to mention, look at these stats. Okay, I went over. I'm gonna give credit right here. Fandom Entertainment. Go check them out. Underneath, there's a. Here's the. Subscribe to their channel. Check them out. They have some good stuff over there. If you watch this video, it's really good. So take a screenshot and you can copy these. Watch the video that's on the link on the bottom. They do a whole video talking about whether or not, and I'm going to put it in the show notes here later. They do a whole video talking about whether or not Home Alone is a Christmas movie. And man, they go through and
Or Die Hard. Die Hard. Is
Die Hard, yeah, excuse me. And if you look at it, they went ahead and dissected the whole movie. There's 19 Christmas trees in Die Hard. Once I saw this screen, I was like, sorry, I have to steal this for our show. So I'm like, so I'm openly admitting I stole this from another YouTube channel. Sue me. So there's 19 Christmas trees. In Home Alone, there's 7. Boom. Okay. There's Christmas decorations. Now they got the edge. Home Alone, got the
does.
edge on
It
Die
does.
Hard with the Christmas decorations. But if you got Christmas carols, there's more in Die Hard than Home Alone. The use of the word Christmas, 13. In Home Alone, only 7. Other Christmas references, 4. They had they went down a rabbit hole and checked out all kinds of stuff. And it's really funny video. Like they go through and they compare it to other movies like The Christmas Carol, different things like that. And Die Hard actually kicks the crap in the Christmas category for a lot of Christmas movies. So if you get bored, go check this out. If you got a friend who tells you Die Hard isn't a Christmas Carol or Christmas movie, send them that video. So there you go.
And one of the main arguments, it really annoys me is people are like, oh, it doesn't feel Christmassy, like it's not, it's not a winter wonderland and everything like that. And it's set in LA, guys. Like that's the thing. And living here in the South, it's like, yeah, I love those Christmas movies too, but we don't have that. Like it doesn't happen that way. It's, it might freeze balls in February, but like for Christmas, sometimes it's 80 degrees and we're throwing the football. Like that's just the way it goes. So like I hate that argument. And what's great is they even put stuff in, like at the very end when all the papers are falling, it's meant to look like snowflakes. Like they do stuff to make it purposefully Christmassy. And like I don't understand why this fight is so strong. Like it's obvious. Everything about the movie. The reason he goes home is because it's Christmas. The reason that they decided to take over the building at that point is because it's Christmas and the building is pretty much closed except for the Christmas party. Like everything about it is set and made to be like Christmassy. Like it's just not. And what's interesting, I read another article too. They were talking about how they basically set you up for the fact that it is a Christmas movie, but not a non-traditional Christmas movie at the beginning. Whenever Argyle is playing Run DMC's Christmas in Hollis, and Bruce Willis says, "Why don't you play some Christmas music?" And he's like, "This is Christmas music." And so it's basically saying this is a Christmas movie. It's just not what you normally expect as a Christmas movie,
Now, there's two arguments for this. One is that this movie was not released around Christmas time. It was released during the summer. So that's the one people usually bring up. And then there's also an interview where Bruce Willis said it's not a Christmas movie. So it came out of Bruce Willis's mouth, but he's just the actor.
And he said the line afterwards was, it's a Bruce Willis movie. And this happened on Comedy Central. So he was obviously joking. And then with the other one, it being released in the summer, I think it was White Christmas was released in the summer, and there another maybe 34.
Dude,
there's several.
I love that logic, dude. He said it on Comedy Central. He was joking. It's science. Like you can't argue that. It was.
And the next line is like, it's not a Christmas movie. It's a Bruce Willis movie. Like saying that he's the success of it, not Christmas. Like he's, but but here's the deal. If you don't watch it at Christmas, to you, it's not a Christmas movie. If you watch, whatever it is at Christmas, like I don't think Lethal Weapon's a Christmas movie, even though it's set at Christmas. But if you watch Lethal Weapon every year, to you, that's a Christmas movie. Like it's like house rules in Monopoly. You go over to somebody else's house and they're like, well, if you land on this space, you got to pay this. And then somebody else gets your, and you're like, what's going on? Like you can play house rules or, not like that. It's
Bruce Willis is bigger than Christmas.
Yeah, but my dad could still kick his ass.
and guys, in the chat there, in the comments and stuff, I put the link up for this. So when we get done, look back or save this link. Go watch that video because it's really kind of funny the way they break it. Yeah. Did you watch it? Did you get to see it?
I did.
Yeah. They're like, okay, they have like a computer that they talk to. They're like, okay, I forgot the name. Okay, Sherry, how many analyze this video, and clearly those guys sat down and dissected this video and wrote down okay, there's a wreath. Okay, there's one. Okay, and then like they wrote, okay, they sat down and counted every Christmas tree in this movie. They went through a lot of trouble to make that video, and they did a great job. So go check it out. All right, so now that we've settled, as far as you and I are both concerned, they're both Christmas movies, right?
Right.
Which one do you think's the better Christmas movie? That's Christmas movie, not movie.
I don't know. I really don't know. Like a lot of people would say, well, I can watch, Home Alone with my kids on Christmas. But like my kids have seen Die Hard every year. Like Die Hard's not that bad. And like,
it's tough, man. Cause you got a guy that's fighting to be with his family on Christmas. He's fighting to save his wife and the only thing he wants to do is be with his family on Christmas.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. The stakes are higher. And like Kevin could have called the cops like 10 times. They already showed the phone worked. He ordered the damn pizza. Like, so he could have called the cops like 10 times.
He made his family disappear.
and John McClane didn't choose to make his family disappear. You can. They didn't let you watch Die Hard in church camp.
They count how many F-bombs there are in Die Hard, and it was a really large number.
Yeah.
They go through how many Fs there are. It's pretty funny. Then again, you got Home Alone. Home Alone. They're fighting to get home to get back to Kevin. Kevin has the experience with his neighbor at the church, and he confesses that, hey, I thought I didn't like my family, but I really miss my family. I just want to be with my family for Christmas. Hey, why don't you talk to your family? For an old guy, you shouldn't be scared. You should call your son. He's like, yeah, but I'm scared to. Yeah, but you'll never know. And he teaches the old guy something, you know what I mean? And then the old guy patches up a relationship with his family, and then next thing you know, he sees him hugging, the neighbors hugging and all that, and that's like a nice touching moment in that movie, and also the family makes it back. So
yeah,
I don't know.
No.
I don't know who to vote for.
But it's like so with Home Alone, it does show family reunification. It does show the redemption story. Actually, the antagonists don't learn any lessons or make any changes. Well, no, he made up. He got very
with the
close
concrete
with the ground.
But
we got to go Home Alone.
Yeah, I'm going Home Alone too. It's also not two, but it does give you that Christmassy feeling. And honestly, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, but Die Hard feels like just an action movie for the most part, because you're more, at least for me, I'm more concerned with him just killing everybody. It's what I'm thinking about, and stunts and flying out the windows and stomping on glass. I'm not there to think about a Christmas movie. I'd have stayed home to watch Love Actually if I wanted to watch a Christmas movie. I'm here to see some ass kicking. So I'm picking Home Alone.
Yeah, I got to go Home Alone too, and mainly because at the very end, like even Buzz has a turnaround. He's like, "Hey, wait, not burn the place down, Kev." Blah blah blah. Like,
also think about it. If it's July, I could see. You know what? I think I'm gonna watch Die Hard, but I don't think I'm gonna watch. I don't think I would say, "Hey, let's watch Home Alone in July." You know what I mean? So I'd say that's a better Christmas movie. There we go. Points for Home Alone. Although I super was laughing out loud. I lulled.
Did you?
I lulled. Dude, I was laughing really hard at Home Alone. I had, from all the physical comedy of just them slipping on the ice and all that, I was laughing pretty hard at that movie. I hadn't seen that movie in years.
Yeah, Home Alone's probably the best example of slapstick comedy. So I'm a huge Three Stooges fan, and I've been watching it being off. I've been watching it recently, and watching Home Alone made me like that's probably the best example of slapstick comedy since the Stooges. I mean, like, just being able to do that stuff is great.
Well, let's see here. What's the next question? Best protagonist. Who would you say?
Well, so here's the issue with Home Alone. So I do watch it pretty much every year. Now, there was probably a break before I had kids, or where I didn't watch it, every year. But once I had kids again, I started watching it every year. And like, whereas Die Hard, honestly, is one of the movies where I watch it and it gets better every time I see it. Home Alone kind of gets worse. Like, his family's such a piece of shit. His family sucks so much. And at the beginning of the film, Kevin's a little peckerhead. Like, he sucks. And like, that's part of the redemption arc, but I just like, I don't know. I'm starting to not like that kid a lot the more I watch this movie. Whereas each time I watch it, like, I like John McClane more. because he's not looking for trouble. He's not playing the tough guy, like, and going in there. He's just trying to, and it shows his humanity too. He's like even afraid of flying, and then he's on a giant building, like uh I John McClane by far, in my opinion, is a much better protagonist than Kevin McAllister.
I'm gonna agree with you on that because Kevin is a little shit. He really is. He's a little shit. So
I
let's
mean, rich, spoiled white kid and like bitching about everything. You didn't get your cheese. And that, like, how many fucking pizzas did they buy? They buy one cheese pizza. How many little kids are there? That's stupid. That's a what the fuck moment. Like,
yeah, what's wrong with these people? These people suck at being parents. If you only got one cheese pizza,
for that many kids. Yeah, and like Bobby says, I don't want to have to clean up his mess.
Yeah, you might as well have just gotten veggie pizzas for all the kids.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. All right. Well, then, how about best supporting character? That says characters. I'm going to change that to character.
No, we might need a couple to match up to Carl Winslow.
All right, we'll leave it like that then.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say for me, let's see here. For Home Alone, Home Alone, you got the old man with the shovel,
Old Man Marley, yeah.
and John Candy.
Yep.
That's like the two standouts. And then in Die Hard, you got Carl Winslow, and you got the limo driver.
The limo driver's almost. I mean, we all love Argyle, but he's almost like, come on, like Carl Winslow's. That's your heavy hitter.
He's
like
solid. Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah, he's there. Like he actually does support literally John McClane. Like he's great. He has for a side character and has such a great story arc. Like he can shoot people again. Like,
yeah, dude. That was like that was a nice touch on the story though too. That they threw that in there. They kind of casually throw that in,
yeah.
and then his character goes full circle to where by the end he saves the day. He's just the guy on the intercom or on the CB, but at the end of the movie, he's the hero of the movie. You know what I mean? That's
and that's what I mean. Like nobody believes him. Everybody thinks he's just some desk jockey cop, and like they're like whenever they show up, they're like, get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. And he's the only one that does. Yeah, and he has more character development than some protagonists in other movies. Like you see a more well-rounded character within him, and then I don't know what his screen time is, but it's probably less than 20 minutes than you see in whole movies of other characters. Like he is. So,
well, what about an old man who's villainized by the neighborhood? They're all saying rumors, saying he's a serial killer. People are scared of him. And then by the end of the movie, he's in there. He's really just a vulnerable, sad old man that's going to see his granddaughter because he can't see her in person. So he's watching her sing in choir practice. And then
God, it's so sad.
And yeah, because people are stubborn and stupid and have family fights and can't hide, can't bury the hatchet for things like that. And so he's having to go see his granddaughter in church and to see her, just to see her.
Just to see her, yeah.
And then by the end of that, like he ends up being the guy that knocks out the bad guys with his shovel and pulls Kevin off the hook in the wall. It's like, let's get you home, and saves the day. And they call the cops. So they end up. So he saves the day because he's the one who knocks those guys out and calls the police. They call the police or the police show up. I guess Kevin called the police with the fake grown-up voice. So I mean, he saved the movie too. And then and he had a complete turnaround too, because instead of just being a stubborn old lonely guy who's scary, he ends up obviously making the phone call and saving the day. And he's not a bad guy. You could tell he's not a bad guy. So so that's another complete turnaround of a story of a character and a development. Because in the beginning you're like, God, that old guy's scary.
He looks scary. Like you said, he looks scary.
He looks scary as hell. That face that he's making, he's just like,
like he has a very good story arc as well. And he just like what's sad is or at least I know people like that. Both sad old men who are, very lonely, and you and people who just have those family fights that it's just about stubbornness, like you were saying. Like they don't like it's like I'm not gonna let the other person win or whatever. And it's like it could be gone, it could be squashed. Like I can be stubborn. Anyone can be, but I don't understand a lot of that. Like
For
maybe I
what?
will for what? Yeah, I
For
mean,
what?
you win. Way to be lonely. All right.
That was some of the best advice my dad gave me. Is he told me one time, and he said, Clint, listen to your dad, your old dad. He's like, I'm in my 70s. I live by myself, and he goes, I'm always right. He's like, you see, he's like, you don't have to be right all the time. Look at me, I'm always right. He's like, and this is what you get when you're always right. I'm 70, and I was in a relationship at the time.
good.
He's like, I'm in my 70s. I've been divorced 3 times. I'm living by myself, watching TV by myself in this apartment by myself in my 70s. And he's like, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? He's like, you don't have to be right all the time. And that's the best advice that somebody could give me. And it works for business partnerships. It works for work relationships. It works, if you get a supervisor who's kind of a hard ass and you think you're right and you got to stand up and prove him wrong, and all of a sudden you don't get the assignment
you
you
get
want,
fired.
or you get fired, or you don't get the assignment you want, or whatever it is, or he's up your ass all the time. Relationship, in a YouTube channel, we could sit here and all of a sudden get into some stupid disagreement, and then all of a sudden, you got to be right, and all of a sudden you don't have a YouTube partner anymore. Or a relationship, it could happen. In a band, it can happen. Every single situation, and in marriage, it can happen. So I'm ordained. I've married a lot of friends of mine and stuff, and that's even a lesson I like to give out. It's like, do you want to sleep on the couch and be right, or do you want to be happy? So even when you're wrong, or even when you're right, it's okay to let the other person win. Because how trivial is this stupid thing that you're fighting about? So anyway, I'm glad the old man called his son, is what I'm trying to say. I just went off on a rant. And everybody at home, remember, it's Christmas. If you got any loved ones, or Kwanzaa or Festivus or whatever it is you celebrate, Hanukkah. But if you got any loved ones that you're not getting along with, you need to think about that and try not to be right all the time. So there you go. Moving forward.
Wait, but so who are we going with? I am going with Die Hard, and I think I've got the chat on my side, it looks like.
Yeah, let's see here.
However, you made a very convincing case.
Yes, but I think the full circle. I just wanted to do justice for the old guy in Home Alone. I think the full circle.
I agree.
Character arc of Carl Winslow. I keep calling him by his Family Matters name.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, in this movie is the best well-rounded supporting character, and he's just really solid. So we're gonna give it to him.
But again, you might not know a Carl Winslow, but you probably know a Mr. Marley, an old man Marley. Somebody like that.
So let's get back to the points here. And Die Hard gets a snowman.
Very good, very good, very good.
All right. All right, let's see here. How about who had the best line? Oh, that's not even supposed to say that.
All right.
Hold on. This is what it's supposed to say. Hold on, I'm going to fix this.
Don't be a jerk. It's Christmas.
Best stunt work.
Ooh.
That's a hard one. The best stunt work. Now, before you just say, oh, that's obvious, Die Hard, You got to think about all the physical comedy that's happening in the falling down the stairs and swinging and smacking into the walls. And there's some serious stunts in
Home Alone.
Home
yeah.
Alone. I was watching that. And I'm like, how did this guy just did a flip and landed on his back on cement stairs? How did I know that's not? I know that's not Joe Pesci, but how did that guy do that without cracking a vertebrae? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Die Hard, if it was like fight choreography or something, Die Hard might win. But honestly, stunts like for Home Alone, like again. So I was talking like being a Stooges fan and like seeing some of that stuff. Like it's a lot of the Stooges stuff was just real, and we know that it, like you were saying, that wasn't necessarily the actors in doing it in Home Alone, but their slapstick comedy is so amazing in how they do that. And some of the, and being an ex-wrestler, like those bumps, like I don't know how, because they're outside. It's an outside shot. That's on concrete. There's no pads there. Like, so somebody's taking those bumps, and that sucks. It's just so.
I forgot that you've for those of you who don't know, guys in the chat, Curtis is trained in professional wrestling training. Like he's wrestled, so he knows about flipping through the air and landing on your back. Like
falling correctly, and like the stunt work. Besides, like in Die Hard, of course, you got explosions and fire and stuff, but in this, you got the scene where he's falling down the shaft, the vent shaft. But I got, like for close up stunt work, because that's the thing, a lot of it's very much close up. Like I kind of want to go Home Alone on this one.
Can you also have the fire rope, the fire, like the fire hose, fire hose and going off the side of the building. That's something. But yeah, I don't think we should take away anything from the stunts that they did in Home Alone.
Yeah, just like fall, and that like where they slip, even where they slip on the micro machines, and it shows. That's what I mean, because the other stuff is cable work, and and they go just where they slip on they go full feet in the air and do a bump onto the hardwood floor. Like that just sucks. like it's, and then plus there's all those micro machines there. It's not impossible and stuff like that, but it's like somebody's really doing that. Somebody's really taking those bumps, and like that's tough, man. So I think I'm gonna go Home Alone.
I think I'm gonna go Home Alone 2, dude. I keep saying Home Alone 2, and I think of the movie Home Alone 2.
Home Alone as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I'm gonna go Die Hard 2. No, 3 with a vengeance. No, like
that's next year. Die Hard 2 versus Home Alone 2.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, because also a lot of the stunts are running around. Yes, they're running through on Die Hard, and they're sliding across the floor, but that's nothing compared to sliding on those micro machines and flying. Like they're going up and then down. Yeah,
they don't because sometimes they can do it where you kind of just fall back on one leg, but they show them full. Like that cut is amazing,
dude.
And you were saying on the stairs, so one of my favorite podcasts is The Horror Show with Sean and Joe, and it's a great podcast. You should check it out. But one of the things that Joe always tells dad stories about his dad, and he says one of his favorite stories is they're watching Home Alone and stuff like that, and his dad's sitting there, and he's a kid, so he thinks the movie is funny, and he's like, haha, but his dad's just cracking up, laughing in the middle of this theater, and embarrassing him, and he's like, ah! And his dad just keeps going, they would be dead.
Dude, I was seriously laughing out loud. Really and I was sick too. I was sick, and I was watching this movie bundled up. I had the chills, and I'm watching this, and I couldn't stop laughing. I almost want to go home, or I almost want to go watch the second half. Like if we could just erase all the plot development, I don't need to see that again. I just want to get to where they go ahead and from the time he leaves the church, where he's like, "Oh, I gotta go," and he runs home. That's where I need to watch from, because oh man, it's so good. All the booby traps are fantastic. So okay, I need to give the point for the stunt. All right, to Home Alone, which, man, this is a pretty neck and neck
Yeah.
battle. Talk about movie battles. It's quite a battle here. Boom. 4 against 4. All right, let's see what other magical stuff. Okay. Now we're going to niche down on the stunt work. We'll have the best walking on glass moment. Now, you got to remember, both are barefooted. And you got Daniel Stern is barefooted. He lost his shoes on the stairs because the tar and socks and tar stuck to his shoes. And then he stepped on the nail like A Quiet Place. That was so good. So now he's barefooted, much like Bruce Willis, who's barefooted. So I'm gonna show a couple of clips. I haven't been doing as many clips tonight, but I got these clips that I pulled. Here's one. All right, and I'm trying to keep the volume down. You can see. They shoot out all these windows, and Hans Gruber's like, shoot the glass. And so he's run. Yeah. So now he's walking on broken glass to get out of there. And it's like, oh my God. And the next scene is him in the bathroom pulling glass pieces like this big out of his foot. And that's when he's like, when Carl Winslow tells him they have a pool over on him, and he's like, hey, put 20 on me, I'm good for it. So that's pretty good. And then here in Home Alone has this scene with broken glass and bare feet, which is also horrifying. Look how excited he is. Oh, I found the window open.
Made it.
Look at his face. He's so excited. He's so God damn it.
I'm gonna kill that kid.
Yeah, that's so good.
It's the way he walks on the sides of his feet.
Yeah. Dude, that is a nightmare right there. I don't know if they have special glass that they use for those ornaments to not cut their feet open.
That's sugar glass.
Yeah, they must have like a stunt team with sugar glass because holy cow. So, which one was worse?
So, if we had done butt pucker this week, I would have picked the scene where he's pulling a giant fucking shard of glass out of his foot.
I'm gonna agree with you.
And that's the thing. Daniel Stern's like stepping on it, but that's like Bruce Willis's. It's like that industrial, or corporate thick ass glass and stuff, and he's running like he has to like stomp run, and it's like, oh my God, it's got to be worse than walking on hot coals, because it's just this is Die Hard. But again,
I'm picking Die Hard too. What do you guys think? Have you guys seen these movies recently? Because I hadn't watched either of these movies in years.
You got 2 days, guys. Get on it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna agree with you. We're gonna give this to Die Hard, which again has got Bobby agrees with this.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Would that so answer me this. Would the scene with Marv stepping on the ornaments have occurred if not for Die Hard? The whole shoes off, stepping on glass, and a nail thing. You think that would have been in the movie if they hadn't seen Die Hard?
The nail thing?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's just to get his shoes. I think that whole scene is just to get his shoes off to step on the.
What about A Quiet Place ripping off Home Alone? That's the wildest thing in the entire movie. A Quiet Place. You saw that, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That scene where she steps on the nail and you're like.
But she goes full on, she steps on it. Daniel Stern, he steps on it a little bit and then he pulls his foot off. Oh man,
that makes talk about pucker.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay.
Whew. All right.
James agrees with us with stunts for Home Alone. Thank you, sir.
So glass, the niche down glass question. Ornament scene could only happen at Christmas. Die Hard glass scene could happen at any time of the year. I like that. It might have been Legos if not for Die Hard. Yeah, you are absolutely right. It probably would have been.
Yeah, and it probably would have been worse to do. Like, you ever step on Legos? Like, it's like, it might be worse than running on glass. Stepping on Legos is the worst fucking thing ever.
Funny story. Our good friend Dustin, when his first son had, I believe it was his third birthday, I bought him a set of Legos for his third birthday. One of the main deciding factors of what to get him was that I imagined the idea of Dustin stepping on a Lego, and I said, yeah, I kind of have to now. And so I bought the Legos for his son, but I knew there was a chance Dustin could step on a Lego, and as much love as I have for Dustin, it's a little bit of Schadenfreude. So there you go.
And it's inevitable. It will happen one day. If it has not happened yet, it will happen.
It's
one day.
funnier when you care about the person, you know, and yep. All right. Well, did I just give the point?
Should be 5.
Yes,
5
I did. Yeah, it's 5-4.
No. Yeah, well, yeah, Die Hard just got glass
just got the point. So, all right. Let's see here. Okay, best line. Here we go. Who had the best line? Here's one. I got both here, and then we'll talk about it. These are the two lines that I believe that I picked, and if you disagree, you can bust out a different line. But here's for Home Alone. All right. Oh, wait for it.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
There you go. That's got to be the best line in Home Alone. And then,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
yep, that's got to be the best line in Die Hard. If I'm crazy and you got another, speak now or forever hold your peace, and we will debate.
There are good ones in both movies. For example, you could, I think you did choose the best. But there in Home Alone, you got what is it? You ready to give up, or you thirsty for more?
Oh, that's a good one too.
And I love in Die Hard. Come out of the coast, we'll have some lambs, blah blah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
And Hans Gruber, whenever he's like, she's like, "You're just a common thief," and he's like, "I'm a very exceptional thief." So there's so many good in both. Die Hard was Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, here's again the
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
there you go. There you go, James.
Bam.
Boom.
But go ahead.
But you were saying?
But so Yippee-ki-yay is what is it? I was reading the trivia. It's number 96 on the 100 greatest movie lines of all time, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. But I would say, besides that, Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker is one of the best lines ever. When you see the movie edits, made for TV, or the TV movie edits of Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I think it's Mother Flipper.
Yeah, or some of them are just. I remember our buddy Natchet. One of his favorite ones was he was watching it, and it was Yippee-ki-yay, jerkhead.
Oh man,
it makes it that much better. That
I think I saw Snakes on a Plane with edits.
Yeah.
Where
did you see that one?
And they're really silly. The edit, they're really silly.
I'm tired of this Monday Friday these Monday Friday snakes on this mother flipping plane or something.
Yeah, it's really good. So who has the best line? Gang.
Phil says Die Hard has the most quotable line, but hands on face screaming is also an automatic callback to Home Alone. While not a line, I think it's equivalent. I agree. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, that's the movie poster. Kevin's scream is, one of the best lines. But even though John McClane or even though Bruce Willis got the line, apparently the line is yippee-yi-yo-ki-yay, but apparently he even got it wrong. But it's still like if you walk, yippee-ki-yay is a nonsense word. If you walk up to somebody on the street and say yippee-ki-yay, I would think 80% of the time they're going to say motherfucker to you, or
Yeah.
they're going to know what you're talking about. Like
That's a Roy Rogers thing.
yeah. But that's me. But I don't attribute that to that.
He tells him, he's like, "Oh, John, you're John Wayne." And he goes, "Actually, I'm more like Roy Rogers." And he goes, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker."
But honestly, by my logic, if you walk up to somebody and said, "Keep the change," no,
Yeah.
but well, not keep the change is a common, but like keep the change, you maybe.
Keep the change.
Or if you just said keep the change, you filthy animal, they would know what you're talking about.
If you said keep the change, you got to say it with the right accent. They'd go, and somebody would go,
change it,
you filthy animal. But I think we got two people in the chat that are we got Phil and that James guy are both pulling for Die Hard. I'm kind of thinking Die Hard also. Yippee-ki-yay, I think, is going to win this one.
Yeah. James says, Home Alone is quotable anywhere and probably very memorable, but Die Hard is ingrained in the pop culture lexicon, so Die Hard. Yeah. Like I said, it's number 96 on the top 100 most quotable or most famous lines or something like that. But it just, again, yippee-ki-yay is a nonsense word, and they made it into something. Like they made it, a thing.
Which I just gave the point to Die Hard because we got so many votes for Die Hard, and it also it thrills me that it moves it 1 point closer to becoming the champion of Christmas movies for verses. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna wait for somebody to screw this up. Let's get it in there.
Keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling. All right.
Rolling.
Okay.
And Bobby agrees. We're locked in.
Yeah, we are locked in. All right. And this, now that I'm reading this question and the other question, which one is a better Christmas movie? I had that in there really because I wanted to get into the conversation about whether or not Die Hard was a Christmas movie. But this is going to level the playing field as far as which got you more into the Christmas spirit. And I almost feel like this is a double question from
to a degree, but
you want to skip on? Let's move. Let's forge forward because I feel like we've already answered this way. It's just like which you think?
A rephrasing. Well, but now it makes me rethink how I answered the other question.
All right, well, let's talk about it then, because that's what we're here to do.
So we don't necessarily have to do points on this. We can if you want to, but so holiday spirit. I mean, I would say so. I answered Home Alone for better Christmas movie originally, but holiday spirit probably was more along the lines of what I was thinking. But a better Christmas movie, like honestly, like the older I get and the more times I watch it, I think Die Hard's a perfect movie almost. Like it's almost a perfect fucking movie. Like you go in knowing what it is, like it's almost perfect. I mean, Argyle's kind of unnecessary. There's a couple of things you could pick here and there, but honestly, for like we've got later on, the most what the fuck moment, like I had to like really think, and I've kind of got some, but like it's such a well done film. It's so well made. It's so good. Like it's a very good movie, and it's about Christmas, so it's a better Christmas movie. Home Alone has a lot of plot holes. Like honestly,
so we're talking now though. We got past best story, and we got past best Christmas movie, and now we're trying to decide if we want to do holiday spirit, if we want to take that into account, or if we want to. Oh, here I'll just say here. Here's the videos that I put through these clips. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Now I have a machine gun.
Yep.
Ho, ho, ho.
Where am I?
And then this one, he sees the neighbor with the family, you know what I mean? And to me that feels more Christmassy. The other, but you know, that's a selective clips that I'm picking there. I could have pulled clips to where he's hugging his wife at the end of the movie, you know what I mean? And that would feel more like Christmas. So I'm just gonna skip this. So
Fair enough.
I feel like it's, and this leads me to a fun question that I've got here. Who had the biggest douchebag of a character? And the two contestants for this are Home Alone. You got this guy. Oh, not the uncle.
That's real crystal.
Uncle Frank.
Uncle. Put him in your purse. Put him in your purse. These are two. Look what you did, you little jerk. That guy sucks. He's a huge douche. And then we have this guy, which you love him or you hate him. I fucking hate this guy. This guy.
I was just making a call.
Oh, look at this.
Actually, it's kind of sort of a double celebration. We closed a pretty big deal today.
I hate
A lot
this
of it was
guy.
due to Holly, am I right, JoJo? Show him the watch. It's a Rolex.
Yeah, Ellis.
Hey, babe. I negotiate $1 million deals for breakfast. I think I can handle
Yeah,
this
he's
trash. Hey, frequency talk, huh?
Frequency talk.
Hope I'm not interrupting.
God, he's a
It's
super
not
douche.
what I want, it's what I can give you. It's obvious you're not some dumb schmuck up here to snatch a few purses, am I right?
Yeah, this
I watch
guy-
60 Minutes. I say to myself,
Hey.
these guys are professional, they're motivated, they're happening, i.e. they want something.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I had to mute this part because he did some racial slurs, but
You're here to negotiate, am I right? Hey, business is business.
yep.
You use a gun, I use a fountain pen. What's the difference? Am I right? Hans.
Hans. Booby.
Booby.
I'm your white knight. The guy upstairs is fucking things up, huh?
Yeah, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
I just want to strangle that guy.
Give him to you.
Now, I got to argue with this a little bit because as much as you can just say that Ellis sucked and stuff like that, parts of him I liked. He didn't give John up. He didn't give John and Holly up at all, and he was about to die. He could have been like, wait, okay, Tim. So he decided to negotiate with Hans and stuff like that. They get John on the microphone. If you haven't seen it, of course, spoilers. But and then he's like, John's my old friend from college, and I invited him back here, you know. And then John is even like, I don't know this guy, Ellis. You don't know what you're doing, blah blah blah. And he still doesn't get, because like whenever the gun's pointed at his head, he could have been like, wait, okay, let me tell the real story, you know. John, I think the douchebag of this movie is the reporter guy, like the reporter guy that does sell out Holly McClane and goes and chases down their kids and stuff like that. And whenever
He's a douche for sure.
that guy sucks. Apparently people liked him because he's got a much bigger role in part 2. But like that guy sucks so much. Like I hate every time he's on screen. And besides the fact that he's the guy from Ghostbusters who let all the ghosts out, like he's just good at being hated. But like I can't, like if he wouldn't have been in the film, it would have been miles better. I hate that guy so much.
So do you think the uncle from Home Alone would have let all the ghosts out or gone to the family's house or caved if he had a gun pointed at his head?
Uncle Frank, yes, would have done all those things. But, and actually, one of the fan theories, and here's what's interesting. So one of the fan theories is that Uncle Frank was behind the whole thing. He knocked the lights out.
Whoa, I never heard this.
Yeah, so one of the fan theories is that Uncle Frank is intensely jealous of his brother, Peter's dad. Peter McAllister, Kevin's dad. So he's intensely jealous of his brother's success, and he intentionally knocked the lights out, and he hates Kevin, which is kind of obvious in the movies. And so he hires Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern to rob them, and he knocks the lights out. He does all this stuff. He tells the neighbor kid to come over. He orchestrates all the very intricate events that occur in order to leave Kevin home alone, get them robbed, get Kevin murdered, and move on.
We need to pay attention to the body language between Uncle Frank and Joe Pesci when he's in the cop uniform, because they have an interaction, and I'd like to look at their eye contact with each other and how they act towards each other with that in my head. You know what I mean?
Well, and what's interesting is with that theory, not all of it, of course, but one of the original or early drafts of the scripts had Uncle Frank hiring Marv and Joe Pesci. Shit, I can't remember his name, to rob the house. Like, that was one of the original drafts of the script, was that they weren't robbing every house. They were were hired by Uncle Frank to rob the house, and they were going to split it because he was so jealous. And then you see him on the plane. First of all, he doesn't pay for anything. And remember, even Peter's dad's like, or Kevin's dad's like, well, I bet his traveler checks don't even work in France, or blah, blah, blah. And so he's a cheapskate, but then he's like stealing the crystal and stuff like that. Like, he's obviously a cheapskate scumbag. But
That's dude. I'm pulling this up right now.
Yeah, the Uncle Frank conspiracy.
Hold on, I'm pulling this up right now.
And yeah, with Uncle Frank, and here's the deal. Whenever each year, like, again, now that I have children, and I see the scene where he's like, "Look what you did, you little jerk," like, and also in that scene, notice Kevin's. They specifically focus on it, and you can see Kevin's is the only boarding pass that gets thrown away. All the boarding passes and passports get covered with milk, but Kevin's is the only one that gets thrown away. But anyway, like, whenever he's like, "Look what you did, you little jerk," and like says that, like, if that was my kid, like, we'd be at, like, that was almost that, like, a what the F moment for me, because like I don't care what happens, like, I'll go whoop my kid's ass, like, but you, like, calling my kid a jerk in front of the whole family, like, we ain't having that. And like, yeah, I don't know. Kevin's family sucks, but Uncle Frank is the worst of the worst.
Uncle Frank does suck.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think I got. He's talking to the.
Which is why Kevin became Jigsaw.
Oh, there he goes. All right, here goes. Hold on.
Okay.
That was it.
Well, he just talked to the pizza guy. He didn't talk. So maybe he purposely.
Let's watch him walking down the.
He did notice how he did look over at Joe Pesci. And he was like,
okay.
And then just like,
hold on, I gotta back up a little bit.
Back it up. Back it up.
Okay, we're backing this up a little bit. That's shady.
See how he kind of looks over at Joe Pesci and just grabs pizzas and moves a fuck.
Hold on, here it comes.
I guess you could say that.
Hey, pizza's here! There you go. That's $122.50.
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, it's my brother's house. He'll take care of it.
No, he didn't really look over. I don't know if I'm buying that.
He did kind of like look. His eyes are all the way to the my left, his right.
Yep.
See him?
Wait for it. Wait for it. What do you guys think right here? Here he is. Does he know?
Sees him?
Yeah, he did look over real quick.
And then he makes that face and he's like, I'm taking the pieces and get the fuck out of here.
I don't know, but I love the theory, though. I love the theory. So I think we've decided, though, Uncle Frank's probably the biggest douchebag out of the whole bunch. What do you think?
Yeah, the other guys were doing their jobs, but there's not a whole conspiracy theory out there that says that they orchestrated the murder of a child and they're robbing of their brother.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put a snowman in front of Home Alone then.
Yeah. And Phil makes a perfect point. Actually, the whole family is pretty crappy most of the time, but Uncle Frank.
Uncle Frank is even crappier.
A new level of crappy.
All right.
He's like when you take a crap and you ate some corn and there's
man.
there's crap inside of the corn that no.
That's terrible. Did we really just go there? Okay, so let's talk about what the fuck moments. WTFs.
All right, let's do that.
Let's talk about that. I'm going to let you go first on this because you said that you had thought about this.
Yeah, I was really trying to find one for Die Hard, because most of the time they're kind of like weird moments or but Die Hard's. I mean, it's such a good film. Like it's hard to find them. What I would say is, and even like some people will point out the ineptitude of the FBI and the LAPD, but I think that was purposeful. I think that was made like that's part of the film. They're doing it on purpose. That's why Hans Gruber knows their whole playbook. Like that's the thing. They're predictable, all of that stuff. But to me, the most what the fuck or unbelievable part of the film is when Hans Gruber and John McClane meet. Now it's a very good scene, and Hans Gruber's he affects a Southern accent. And he's Bill Clay, but Alan Rickman has he has a voice that you can't. He has a Southern accent, and he's still like it's still Alan Rickman. Like it's so
it still
noticeable.
sounds like this.
Yeah. Yes. And so you can put a twang on it if you want, but and so you could and maybe John does know. Like
I think he knew the whole time.
Yeah, he knows, but at the same time, like it was just like that to me. That was like. He
even says, "You think I'm stupid?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously knows, but yeah, like other than that, like with Die Hard, I couldn't find anything really. Could you?
I couldn't find anything either. Well, the only WTF in Die Hard was the douchebag guy. I can't even think of the character's name.
Ellis.
Yeah, Ellis doing the racial slurs, which I was like that was he makes a jockey slur and another thing and I was like, whoa, is that real? And then I'm like, well, it was the 80s, you know what I mean? So and he's also playing a douchebag. So he's like, hey, blah blah blah. And it's almost like
if John McClane came out saying that, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, but this guy's he's playing a douchebag. So and there's a lot of movies where you gotta like, is it okay that he said that? And we're like, he is playing an asshole. You know what I mean? And that's kind of a funny thing. Like, can you it's almost like Quentin Tarantino. Like, how many times are you gonna throw that in your movie? And is it okay? But like, I don't know, it's funny. Which is a whole nother moral debate, but that was the only WTF in that I found in Die Hard. In Home Alone, I mean, I didn't really find any. I'm just yawned.
Well, to me,
to put these in your purse on the plane is is about it.
But like to me, it was. It wasn't just this time. It's the last few times I watched it. But so whenever everybody comes home and it's like, okay, well, Buzz is home and all that stuff, and you missed the flight that we took that you could have taken, blah blah. And then so the whole ending is kind of WTF because so he specifically makes it to where they get caught at the Murphy's house. Oh, well, a couple things. Oh, shit. I had a couple of them. So now as a homeowner, I don't care. Go steal all of my shit if you want it. Go take it all. But if you flood my house, like, because the wet bandits like keep the water on, and they turn the water. If you flood my house and ruin, like, you know what? Like I'm gonna be like wishing for the death penalty for you. Like, you to steal my shit all you want, like,
Yeah, but don't
you go
flood
and you
my
ruin
house.
my house. So
was
there's
that the old man's house?
No, that was the Murphy. It was just one of their neighbors.
Oh, okay.
So because that's the thing, everybody on the block went
Went
like
out of
somewhere.
town.
All these rich people went, on vacation for Christmas, and so, and again, so the Murphys, so that's the Murphys' house, and they showed them robbing that earlier in the film, and he decides to get them arrested at the Murphys' house instead of at his house, because he could have called the cops at any time, like we've already said, and he gets them arrested over there, and then I guess, according to the second film, he just pretends this whole thing never happened, and that he didn't help arrest these burglars. And so Buzz gets home and he's like, "So Kevin, what did you do to my room?" So obviously he didn't clean up Buzz's room. But here's the thing: how is this 9-year-old gonna get the tar off of the stairs? Like, there's like, that's what I was like. You're not getting that shit off. Like, that's not good.
Yeah,
like,
you didn't even clean up Buzz's shelves. Like, you're not. Yeah, how you get that tar off? That's
you might have swept up the ornament,
Yeah.
but. Like, there's no way of hiding this. And then, the dad finds the gold tooth and stuff like that. Like, there's no, just the whole ending was like, it works. It's fine. It's that, but like, Liz, like, what the fuck? Like, how is he going to hide this? And why is he hiding it? Like, be like, yeah, I saved our whole house from robbers, dude. What do you want? Like,
I kind of thought the idea of him going into his neighbor's house, leading these guys into the neighbor's house, was kind of a WTF moment. But then I thought about it, and I used to have a friend, my friend down the street from me, where like I used to go over to their house all the time, and it wouldn't be weird for me to go into their house. You know what I mean? Like, I knew where they had a spare key. I could go into their house if I needed to. And they were friends. It's my best friend growing up, and
And I guess they had already robbed the Murphys. Like, they didn't rob his house if he had succeeded. So they could catch him in the act of doing that. But I don't know.
Phil is like, the WTF is that the wet bandits actually wanted to hurt the little kid. Yeah, when they hang him up on the wall, they're like, "We're gonna do everything that you did to us."
Yeah, they're obviously not good people.
They're the wet bandits.
Yeah, like that didn't surprise me at all. Like that, like, I wouldn't want to hurt a little kid, but if I'm not, some scumbag guy and they set me on fire, like.
And you could tell where they're like, "Hey, yeah, so and so they whacked him in the house whenever he blew up the fire. Who was he? Blah blah blah. Like, did they know him? Like, these are real criminals, that no other criminals."
Yeah. Well, and so here's the deal. So one of the other fan theories is that Peter McAllister, Kevin's dad, is a mob boss. And that kind of actually adds up a lot, because it's like, where does he get all this money? Okay, they never really say what he does, and they just say like his business. Okay, and so why do the wet bandits want to hit this house so bad? Okay, if he's a mob boss, that makes sense. And then why do the wet bandits not freak out when they believe that there is basically a machine gun murder within this house? Like, Marv believes that this occurred, and he convinces Joe Pesci's character. I can't believe I don't remember his name, but Stan. Anyway, he convinces him that it's true, and he's like even thinking like, do I know a guy Snakes?
Harry.
Like that.
Harry's his name.
Harry, yeah. And he's like, do I know a guy Snakes? And and like they're even convincing, like, debating this amongst themselves. So obviously they did believe it to some degree, and it only makes sense if Peter, Kevin's dad, is a mob boss. Like, that one's actually a pretty good one.
Where is he? I'm looking for his picture.
Well, he ain't no Gandalf. That's, of course, Mel.
Not many are. Could this guy be a mob boss? I don't know.
Well, you're looking at his picture. I mean, come on.
I was just
Hey, we.
I don't know. Look like a mob boss to you?
A little bit.
There's a new what's her name? There's a new Interview with a Vampire series, and he's in it. He's an author. So and he was in it, and I was like, where do I know this guy from? I couldn't think where I knew the guy from, and it's from Home Alone. Oh, it's funny. All right. Well, cool. So WTF? Who gets the point for the WTF moment?
Home Alone definitely has more of them, and in my opinion, more effective ones.
And this makes it more exciting because now we're tied again. Holy crap. Down to the wire.
Snap. Oh, my God.
Never a dull moment, folks. Never a dull moment when you're making up the rules as you go along. All right. Which one did you do you think had better Christmas music out of these two movies?
Well, we've already seen that Die Hard actually had more Christmas music, and I will say that Ode to Joy, or as I think of it, Hallelujah, Sing to Jesus. Hallelujah, sing to Jesus. To me, that's the Die Hard song. And you were talking about Dustin earlier. Whenever I was talking to Dustin, we were talking about some movie or something like that, and I was like, yeah, and imagine like, they have and I'm like, that song, blah blah blah, and he named something else, and I was like, no, the Die Hard song, and he's like, oh yeah, like, and he starts singing it, and it was like, Ode to Jesus is now, or Ode to Joy is now the Die Hard song, and like, it just, like it's ingrained in my memory for action movies. It's not a Christmas song anymore. It's like it's an action movie song. It's like, and it's just perfect. Like it fits so well. You could say the same thing about White Christmas for Home Alone, potentially, but I don't know. I mean, I think
can't hear music over burglars being tortured by a child. Sorry, that cracked me up. I'm gonna go with you, dude. Die Hard.
Yeah,
Die Hard for the win on that one.
It definitely had much more and much more impactful.
Yeah, and more of it. As per our
very well. There you go.
Graph here. Yeah.
Bada bing.
Christmas carols, 12 of them. There was only 7 in Home Alone. So there you go. Points. Boom. And go. And that gets us to our last and final question, gang. And before we hit that question, you know what you got to do? You got to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, why the hell not? Just touch.
Yeah, just right
just
there.
Give it
a little click.
Just do it.
Flick.
Just do it. Just do it. Okay. Let's get down here. Where are you? Right down here. Boom. Which, I haven't seen this thing in a while. Check this one out. Where'd it go? I'm trying to. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
That's the old
Merry
classic.
Christmas, guys.
The old yes. Merry Christmas. All right. So this brings us to the last one. If you had to watch one of these movies every Christmas for the rest of your life, which movie would you pick?
Well, again, so I've watched both of them fairly often every Christmas. Again, Home Alone probably took a break whenever I didn't have kids. But the main thing is rewatching Home Alone. I like it less the more I watch it because those people are so shitty. There was this thing in the 90s, I think, with Problem Child and like Just like every 90s commercial was like, hey, guess what? Your parents are stupid. You're awesome. Blah, blah, blah. And like, so the kids are just so awful. The family's just so awful. Like they're terrible people. And then like on top of that, like they're these rich assholes. Like I like it less. Die Hard, I appreciate more every year when I watch it. Like it's almost a perfect film. Like it's almost like there are a couple tweaks here and there, but like you could put it up against whatever, and it's going to do very well. So I could see myself once the kids grow up and move out watching Die Hard every year. Probably not watching Home Alone every year.
And bam, we've got overwhelming response from the chat. Let's see here.
Watch forever, Die Hard.
Die Hard. I've only seen parts of it. Don't be mad, Curtis. And then we got Die Hard. Watch forever, Die Hard. I saw the Die Hard with Justin Long in it.
I appreciate that one. Some people don't like that one, and so so you want to go into fan or you want to get that point and go into some fan theories?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm thinking about it, and would I want to watch? If I could go back and watch one of those right now, I would watch Home Alone before I would watch Die Hard. I thoroughly enjoyed the shenanigans, but then again, it might be because I haven't seen it in so long that I just really enjoyed it now. And if I watched it 3 days in a row, I might never want to see that movie again for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's a tough one. But I'm gonna have to go with the overwhelming decision from the chat and Curtis, and that means basically I'm overruled on this one, and the winner is. Yeah, but what's not the question? The question is, if I had to watch one every year for the rest of my life, right now I would say Home Alone, because I don't feel like watching Die Hard.
I want to watch Die Hard again right now.
I honestly want to go. I want to go to the church scene of Home Alone and watch the church scene to the end with all of the shenanigans. That is is how I feel. But who can, when you have space caps lock and spacing, who can argue with that? That's like, I mean, geez, Louise.
Oh
my God. Home Alone is more clever, but that's not the question. The question is every year for the rest of your life. If you could only watch one of these movies, which Christmas movie would it be? I know it wouldn't be Die Hard for I know it wouldn't be Die Hard for Phil, because that's not a Christmas movie to Phil. But I think overwhelming, Die Hard is the winner on this. We're gonna give the point to Die Hard. We're gonna fire the horn. We're gonna.
Devon Green says A. Says square.
Yeah, there's a box. We're gonna do this, and the bonus point though, hold on, is and then we're gonna talk theory, talk shop. I gotta go to the guy here in. Yep, and I'm gonna go up here to the cast window so I can look at my screen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look.
Oh, at our poll.
Yeah. Where'd the poll go?
It's up there at the top somewhere.
There it is. Overwhelming.
There you go.
Which I'm causing a disruption in the matrix because I'm.
Oh, God. Infinite mirrors.
So there you go, guys.
Die Hard, baby.
Curtis. 45% said Home Alone. 55% said Die Hard. Had it been the other way around, Man, maybe we could have gotten a bonus point to even out the score, but
Yeah.
But that gets us here. Boom. It's 6 against 8. Not even close.
Oh, man.
Die Hard kicked the crap. Yep, Die Hard kicked the crap out of
Out of that young man.
Woohoo! There you go, gang. There you have it.
Now
Now let's talk
go ahead.
theory.
Well, we can talk. I was going to say better sequels too, because you got Home Alone 2, which is basically a repeat of the first one. And I didn't rewatch it this year, but it usually bothers me a lot. Die Hard 2, which isn't that great, but then Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance, is arguably one of the best ones, or the best one.
Die Hard 2 was in the airport, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Dude, maybe I was because I was a kid. I remember seeing that in the theater. I loved it.
Well, I got to rewatch that one too. I will rewatch that one.
If we go to battle, dude, Home Alone 2 better than Die Hard 2.
Next year, baby, next year.
Is there a look at this. Home Alone 3.
Die Hard 3 is definitely better, greater than Home Alone 3.
Home Alone. Is there a Home Alone 3?
Yes, there is. It doesn't have Macaulay Culkin in it.
Oh, okay.
There's like 6 Home Alones technically. But Die Hard 4, Live Free or Die Hard. No, yeah. With Justin Long. I actually like that one a lot. A lot of people had issues with it. Yeah, Bruce was going bald, and he was smart. He was like, I'm not going to fight anymore. Just shave it off. And
dude, I was looking for graphics, like for images to throw in here, and I started to grab one, and I looked at his hairline, and I go, that must be Die Hard 2, because his hairline was way farther receded. And I go, no, I can't use that. So then I switched, and I grabbed a different image, which is hilarious.
Yeah, he just let it go. Well, I don't know if they had whatever it is. Well, they did have what was it, the Hair Club for Men with, what was the name, Cy Sperling? You remember that? But yeah, they put another kid in there, and then so I did like the Die Hard 4. Die Hard 5 was the biggest piece of shit. Like, oh god, it was so terrible. So I think with this, if you're talking about sequels, Die Hard wins. But so the whole point of me bringing that up was so we can talk about fan theories. So one of the fan theories is for Die Hard. There's not a lot of them for Die Hard. There's a lot of them for Home Alone, so we'll get into that in a minute. But is that Die Hard 4, Live Free or Die Hard, basically happened after Die Hard 2 and 3, of course. And then John McClane became the person, became famous because of his exploits, and then he decided to become an actor and make Die Hard 4. So it's not starring Bruce Willis, it's starring the actual John McClane. He decided to make an actor, and that's why it's so unbelievable in PG-13 and so on and so forth. That's one of the arguments or fan theories. So that did you follow that?
You gotta back up. So
Die
they're saying
Hard
that they're pretending that it's not Bruce Willis, that it's the real John McClane?
That John McClane became an actor and made Die Hard 4. The first 3 are his actual life story. And then he became famous for his actual life story. And then John McClane decided, you know what, I'm going to become an actor because I'm already famous, and made Die Hard 4. And that's why it's like he's not like a New York cop anymore, and not like the everyman. He's like driving a motorcycle into a fucking helicopter or whatever, and that's what happened. Is that it is a movie, but it's a movie starring John McClane.
There's isn't there a fan theory about, am I mixing this up? I think I'm thinking of something else. That Willy Wonka is something else.
Well, I think you're thinking the Snowpiercer is a sequel to Willy Wonka.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
There's also a fan theory that John McClane is actually the guy from Unbreakable. Okay, so John McClane is John McClane. Okay, and yes, that's absolutely that's right. We're gonna get to that one. So John McClane is John McClane. He goes through life and then realizes that and then Unbreakable happens within. They place it somewhere, and he realizes that he's actually a superhero. And the other diehards happen, and then not only that, he lives forever because he's unbreakable and becomes Dallas Corbin in The Fifth Element, and it's all the same character. You're watching the time, and actually, so another great fan theory is that Kevin McAllister is a young version of John McClane, and so we've got a full timeline. You watch Home Alone and Home Alone 2, and then he turns into John McClane in Die Hard 1, 2, 3, and I think it was at 3 where they had the break, and they said then he he gets a different life, things happen, and he realizes he's the guy from Unbreakable, and goes back and maybe does the other Die Hard movies, and then continues to live, continues to move forward, and becomes Dallas Corbin in The Fifth Element. So it's the same character that you're watching through the whole thing, and it's like you watch this character timeline, and I kind of really like that. I don't know how much it adds up. We didn't, go into great depths of, figuring out how does Looper fit in. He goes, I guess maybe that actually we could probably make that work, Phil. We got to get on that.
That's hilarious.
So, but yes, one of the big ones that we wanted to point out was that Kevin McAllister. There is a fan theory that Kevin McAllister is Bruce Willis or a young Bruce Willis, or John McClane, and he does that. Another fan theory is that Kevin McAllister became Jigsaw from the Saw series.
That's the one that I was trying to think of that I heard. Yep. Kevin McAllister is Jigsaw from Saw.
Yeah. And so combined with this theory is, so of course, he's good at making the traps and stuff like that. And a lot of the traps in Home Alone are self-inflicted. They do that. And so he becomes Jigsaw. That's part of it. But one thing that I thought was interesting was one thing it was tied to it was that John Candy is actually the devil in Home Alone. If you notice, and I didn't notice it until they pointed it out, but right after she says, "I would sell my soul to get back to my son tonight." Okay. And then John Candy walks up and goes, "Excuse me, can we talk for a second?" And then, so he brings her back. He does all the nice things and he brings her back. Well, he brings her back, but just like any devil's proposition or, deal, it has zero effect because the family walks in right after she walks in. So she sells her soul, and her, the selling of her soul had zero effect on the outcome. So there's that. And then all of this occurring causes Kevin to become, fucking nuts and become the Jigsaw killer because of John Candy being the devil.
That's crazy talk.
It was on the internet, so it's got to be true.
Oh, man.
The other one that we talked about, Kevin's dad being a mob boss, but also that Kevin's dad is a cult leader, and the family is a cult, which kind of, like, honestly, when you watch it with that in mind, it kind of makes sense. James says, "Haha, that's crazy." Insert the shot of John Candy as the devil from yeah, right, from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But is it that he's a cult leader, and that's why that's why they tell the kids the story of Old Man Marley being a murdering mummy maker, so that they won't talk to neighbors. That's why they can't call any. Well, they already expressed that all the neighbors were were out of town, but that's why they call the cops instead of the neighbors. Like, so they're basically a cult, which. But there's a lot of them. There are a lot of fan theories out there, and they're very, very fun. If you ever feel like going
It's
down
hilarious.
some rabbit holes.
Yeah, we'll put that in the background.
Oh my god!
There we go. Awesome, man. Well, I think that concludes. Not to mention, I have to get to the grocery store, and they close it very soon. I have to get to the grocery store to get some random Christmas things that I'm driving to my mom's in the morning. So, and I want to wish you guys, everybody, a happy holidays, and hope you're having a great time this Christmas season, or Hanukkah season, or Kwanzaa season, or Festivus season with your close loved ones and stuff, and have a great time and whatnot. And I'm glad you guys hung out with us. Made it fun tonight to have you guys here. The winner, of course, is Die Hard. Merry Christmas, Bruce Willis. Damn it. And guys, be sure you subscribe, do all that good stuff, and you know the drill, guys.
Indeed.
Y'all have a great happy holidays. We'll see you guys next week. I'll be posting on social media what we're gonna do for next week. We'll figure it out, and I'll shoot a message out to the patrons. We talked about, what was it? I got my calendar right here. We talked about doing 4 rooms. What was it? 4 rooms versus
New Year's Eve. Yeah.
New Year's Eve. We may or may not do that. We'll discuss it and get back to you guys if we decide to switch it up. So, all right, guys, be sure to subscribe. And here we go. Outro video time. Love you guys. Be good.
Yes, love you guys. Thank you, Fandom.
Tune in next week.
Bye-bye, boys. Have fun storming the castle.
Yeah!